Playoffs, the Cowboys have two massive questions, and I would argue they're the two questions you don't want to have. Question about their coach, that's not going to be answerable in the regular season. We're just going to see if McCarthy is going to have another meltdown the way he did in the playoff game last year. And the other question is about the quarterback. And what's got to be so frustrating for the Cowboys is, in this year's NFC, they should be the one team without that question. Jalen Hurts has played one playoff game. He's young, and he played poorly in it. Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins. He's played in 3 playoff games. He's only won 1. He is not considered a big game quarterback. Geno's never been to a playoff game. Daniel Jones never been to a playoff game. Taylor Heineke's been to one. He actually played all right, but he's still Taylor Heineke. Of course, there is and Jared Goff. He's been to a Super Bowl. I give him credit, but he's also Jared Goff on a second team because first team got sick of him. Then there's Brady. But everybody thinks that team is cooked. And then there's, in the peak of his powers, 30-year-old Dak Prescott, or 30-year-old Dak Prescott, who has been paid, who is healthy, who has the supporting cast around him. Yet when it comes to the Cowboys right now, he is their biggest question mark, Brew. And it got me wondering, what is Dak Prescott's signature NFL moment? And I think it is that playoff game against Green Bay that he lost. His rookie season. Sure. He's won one playoff game. It was against Seattle and Russ, and then they lost the following week. Last year in the playoffs, he lost to Jimmy Garoppolo and the Niners. Even in the regular season, the best, most stirring regular season win that I could find for Dak was a 36-35 win in Week 17 over the Giants 4 years ago. But that was a game that they had already clinched the NFC East, and Jason Garrett was criticized for playing Dak in, played him anyway, they won the game. What is the best moment Dak has had in the last few years? The overtime win over the Patriots?
That was good, though, yeah.
Yeah, but that's my point.
I know, but that wasn't
he's been in our lives, Brew, for a long time to not have this signature win.
Well, and I think what may be going on with Dak is that he thinks he's something now and trying to be something that he's not. I've always said from the moment he started looking great as a rookie, right? And you said 13-3 looking great. Maybe, could have been rookie.
MVP. Could have been MVP. Got an MVP vote.
Right. I've said, though, he's a game manager with playmaking abilities. He can make plays with his arm and with his legs at a big moment. And then 2019 comes, and Dak throws for almost 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. And I think he begins thinking he's a superstar quarterback like a Mahomes, a Josh Allen, and Aaron Rodgers, that type of player. And then the next year, remember, he's throwing for almost 400 yards a game before he gets hurt. But when you really dig into the numbers of both of those years, he was padding stats, all right, or he was putting up big numbers in games that they were behind big and the other teams didn't prevent D, and he's bringing them back. But that year he almost threw for 5,000. They lost to most of the great teams. New Orleans with Drew Brees, they lost. New England with Tom Brady, his last year there, they lost. Buffalo was pretty good that year. They beat Dallas. The good teams beat them. And so I think, though, when Dak came back, what was everybody talking about last year when he was coming back from the injury? Will you throw for 6,000 yards? Really?
Right.
Dak Prescott is not that guy. And I don't know if he's trying to be that guy right now, and that's why he's throwing the interceptions, but they need to get him back to being a special game manager. I'm not saying he's not Taylor, he's not like a basic game manager, but he's a game manager who can make a big play here and there.
Points. Can I show you a quote from Curse on the defense? I think the pressure is all on the defense. Not
on Dak?
I think Dak's got a little bit of pressure not to throw the ball to the Eagles, but Dak is playing well. Here's Jaron Curse. Giving up 500 yards to no disrespect, but the prince who was promised, he was not that good. Shouldn't have happened. Our offense should not put up 34 points and we lose the game regardless of what goes on. I think it's all on the defense. They gave up 192 yards on the ground. They had no sacks on the combo of Mills and Driscoll and the Texans. And I know that Dak gave one away in his short field and all of that. But still, bad performance against the Texans, bad performance against Jacksonville. I think this is all on the defense. And as long as Dak takes care of the ball, they're going to win the game.
So, well, listen, that part, I think that last part, though, undercuts the other part of it to a degree. As long as Dak takes care of the ball, they should win the game.
Hold on,
I agree with
Bruce
that.
got a phone call. Go ahead, Bro.
That was actually, to be fair, that was the alarm saying we were supposed to show the Mac Jones getting the face full screen. But that's supposed to go off in the producer room, not out here. The idea that I agree with you. If Dak takes care of the football, they should win. The problem is, he has been the most turnover-prone starting quarterback in the league this year based on the number of starts and the interceptions that he's thrown. And 34 points from the offense would have been enough to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars if Dak Prescott had not thrown a pick inside his own 20 that immediately led to a touchdown, and then a pick six at the end of the game that led to the 6 points that won him the game.
Okay. Moving on, we're going to talk Jalen. Maybe he's playing, maybe he's not. Maybe he's missing 2 games. Maybe he doesn't miss anything. Here's Jalen yesterday.
Definitely a change. Taking it day by day, though. Everybody knows that I'm dealing with something. I think that's pretty public. It's out there. I'm not one to really talk about myself. Obviously being a quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, you can't run from that. But I'm taking everything one day at a time with it and preparing versus a really good defense.
I think he's going to play.
Oh, I don't think he's going to play. He wasn't in practice today. I don't think he's going to play. But go ahead. What's the question?
Oh, do they need Jalen to play to beat the Cowboys?
No, they could win without him, which is one of the reasons he's not league MVP. Hold on. Why are you guys wincing?
How has this become a Patrick Mahomes conversation?
No, it's not a. Hold on a second. You're
going to deny that?
No, Jalen Hurts, the conversation surrounding him 72 hours ago he was the Vegas favorite to be league MVP. I did not think he was league MVP. We are now all about to agree that the Philadelphia Eagles can win this football game against a 10-4 Cowboys team without him. When the biggest part of his argument for MVP has been they're 13-1. So I am not arguing that you should have it held against you if your team is great, absent of you. But if your entire argument is team success, then of course you should have it held against you if they can succeed without you. Correct?
I understand the rationale.
That's not the entire argument that they're 13-1.
It is.
He's having a great year.
Yes.
You can't just look at his passing stats.
I understand.
Compared to Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
You have to factor in the running. And the run game, it's not like he's just Jacoby Brissett handing the ball to Nick Chubb. The run game is based on him.
Agreed.
All right, so that you have to take that in consideration. But here's the thing. Here's where I kind of agree with you. Can they beat the Cowboys without Jalen Hurts? Like, go out there and we're just better. No.
Oh, I think
But they can win the game because of Dallas. No. That's why they can win. Okay. Gardner Minshew is a solid backup, very top-tier backup quarterback.
Yep.
We know they got players everywhere else. And Dallas is the type of team, to heck, if Jalen doesn't play, they might have a letdown. As much as the Cowboys need this 100%. Game, they might have a letdown. So Philly could beat them. Hey, Jacksonville just beat them. No offense to the prince that was promised, but Jacksonville just beat them.
No, I understand, but don't you think Philly is a team that no matter who the quarterback is, with the way the defense is playing, they have it in them on any given week to go out and win a game defensively? To go out and they lead the league in sacks, they lead the league in turnovers for us.
I don't think they could be great teams.
It's just not fair.
What's not fair?
It's not fair.
What is not fair?
That because the 49ers are a great team, Jimmy Garoppolo's no good. And because the Eagles have a great balanced team, Jalen Hurts is no good. But because Patrick Mahomes is the engine that makes all of Kansas City go, and he doesn't miss any real games, we don't get a chance to see.
They're 1-1, I mean, career-wise without Mahomes.
Okay, thank you for that. Listen, it is again, we need to be clear about what league MVP is. It does not mean you had a great year. Everyone knows that he's having a great year. It does not mean you are awesome. It means what's 53 times 32? About 1,600 something? Of all the 1,600 players in the league, you were the very best. That year, of everyone that played football, you got the gold medal, the individual gold medal. So it is absolutely fair when we are discussing the league MVP if Jalen's biggest case for it, because it is his biggest case for league MVP, because the statistical case is